I want to show you the video he posted. This happened when he was filming the Aurora Borealis. He was doing a time lapse. Just into the time lapse, there's a few objects that appear. We're going to freeze it for you so you can get a good look at it. 5 objects appear flying alongside each other.
In 2013, NASA announced the discovery of a 3,000-mile-wide UFO-like object silently orbiting Earth, sparking worldwide speculation. This colossal anomaly remains unexplained, challenging everything we know about space and extraterrestrial life. More recently, Ivan Wagner, a Russian cosmonaut aboard the International Space Station, filmed a series of unidentified objects while capturing the Aurora Borealis. The footage shows 5 objects flying in perfect formation, raising questions about their origin. Wagner even hinted at the possibility of space guests and sent the footage to Russian authorities for further analysis. Each of these leaving us wondering, are we alone? Join us today as we explore the most compelling UFO sightings, piecing together clues that could redefine our understanding of the universe. Let's rewind a little. NASA first brought this discovery to light during a presentation at the Brasilia Planetarium in 2013. It wasn't some small announcement. No, they stood in front of the public and said, "Hey, we've discovered something huge up there, and we have no idea what it is." Since then, the world has been buzzing with questions, speculations, and theories. People from all walks of life, from scientists to conspiracy theorists, have weighed in on what this massive object could be, but we still have no clear answers. And honestly, we might never get them. At least not in the way we'd like. You have to imagine how scientists felt when they made this discovery. These are people who've dedicated their lives to studying the stars and planets, and they've encountered all sorts of strange and mysterious phenomena. But even for them, this was something that defied all the usual explanations. A 3,000-mile-wide object, floating so casually in space, doesn't really fit into any category that they could easily recognize. It doesn't match the characteristics of any known asteroid, comet, or satellite. And what's even stranger is that there wasn't much else around it. It was as if this object had just appeared out of nowhere, hanging around Earth like it had been placed there intentionally, perhaps by something, or someone, far more advanced than us. And that's the question, isn't it? If this object isn't natural, then what could it possibly be? What kind of technology would be able to produce something so enormous? Can you imagine the resources and advanced technology required to construct an object that big and send it into space, especially into Earth's orbit? The sheer scale of it would require a level of engineering and scientific knowledge that is beyond anything we currently possess. The idea that an advanced civilization, potentially alien in nature, could have created this thing to explore Earth or monitor us is a fascinating and, frankly, a terrifying possibility. But what we do know is that this object is not something we can mess with. The sheer size of it alone tells us that. And let's be real, it's hard to imagine a race of creatures so advanced that they could build something that big just to cruise around Earth's orbit. Some scientists have even suggested that this object could be a mothership of sorts, something that's used by aliens as a base or headquarters. And if you really start to think about it, the idea isn't all that far-fetched. It would take an enormous amount of resources, not to mention an entirely different level of technology, to construct something that massive and send it into space. If this object is a craft, it would also need to be incredibly durable. Space is a harsh environment, filled with radiation, meteoroids, and cosmic radiation that can damage anything not built with extreme resilience. The fact that it's still intact, still floating up there without any visible signs of wear and tear, just adds to the mystery. The sheer longevity of this object, maintaining its form and structure over what could be millennia, raises countless questions. We might never fully understand how something like this could exist, or if it was made by another civilization. Perhaps it was a part of a greater, even more unfathomable plan, one that's beyond our comprehension. The mind boggles at the sheer potential of what this discovery means for the future. Could this object be an early warning system, or is it something entirely different? The possibilities are endless, but one thing is certain: its presence changes everything. But what's truly mind-boggling is the possibility that this is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Some theorists believe that this mysterious object might be connected to the famous interstellar object known as Oumuamua. If you're not familiar with it, let me quickly fill you in. In 2017, astronomers spotted a weird object streaking through our solar system. They couldn't figure out where it came from or what it was made of, but it was moving in ways that defied the usual expectations of celestial bodies. Some experts even speculated that it might be a probe sent by an alien civilization, designed to scout out Earth or study our solar system. Given its strange trajectory and speed, it certainly didn't behave like a typical comet or asteroid. It seemed almost intentional in its movement, as if it was being steered or controlled. Now, imagine the implications if this new object, this massive 3,000-mile-wide anomaly, is somehow linked to that mysterious interstellar visitor. Could it be a fragment of something even larger? Or perhaps it's part of a network of objects that were deliberately placed in our solar system, waiting for the right moment to reveal their purpose. If these two objects are indeed connected, the questions only multiply. What does this mean for our understanding of the universe? And more intriguingly, who or what could be behind such an elaborate scheme? The more we learn, the more baffling and awe-inspiring the possibilities become. Could we be on the verge of discovering something truly monumental about our place in the cosmos? Think about that for a second. What if Oumuamua wasn't just some random asteroid or comet that wandered into our solar system? What if it was part of a larger network of objects or spacecraft, all observing Earth? It would be an unprecedented discovery, one that could completely reshape our understanding of space, extraterrestrial life, and our place in the universe. Perhaps Oumuamua was some sort of scout, sent out from its home star system to explore our solar system, and this new object is the next phase in that plan. If it is, it would mean that we've barely scratched the surface of something far bigger than ourselves. If these objects are part of a larger network or program, it raises even more questions about the nature of the intelligence behind them. What would their motivations be? Are they studying us for scientific purposes, or is there something more sinister at play? And if they are here to observe, how long have they been monitoring us? We're talking about technology that could span millions of years, possibly longer, and if they've been watching us that long, what have they seen? What would they make of humanity's rise and fall, our wars, our technological advancements, and our environmental degradation? We can only imagine what kinds of conclusions they might have drawn. The sheer scale of this discovery, the mystery surrounding it, and the potential implications for humanity are mind-blowing. And yet, we may never know the full extent of what's going on. It's possible that this 3,000-mile-wide object is just one small piece of something much larger and more complex. We may not have the technology or the understanding to fully comprehend what's out there. For now, all we can do is speculate, theorize, and wait for the next discovery that might bring us closer to understanding the true nature of the universe, and what other intelligent beings might be out there watching us, just as we watch the stars. It's enough to make you question everything you thought you knew about the universe, isn't it? But hold on, because the story doesn't end there. Fast forward to recent events, and the mystery deepens. Just a few months ago, something incredible happened. Something that may have taken this whole UFO phenomenon to a whole new level. A Russian cosmonaut stationed on the International Space Station made a very interesting claim. He suggested that he had filmed a UFO in orbit while he was recording the beautiful aurora borealis. Now we've all seen those mesmerizing images and videos of the aurora, right? The lights that stretch across the sky, lighting up the night in shades of green, purple, and blue, mesmerizing anyone who gets the privilege of seeing them. But this was different. This was something unusual. Ivan Wagner, the cosmonaut in question, posted a video online showing what appeared to be 5 objects flying alongside each other in space. These objects were maintaining the same distance from one another, like they were on some kind of synchronized mission. They moved together in a perfect formation, almost as if they were working in unison. There was no chaos, no erratic movement, just smooth and calculated motion. Wagner even tweeted about it, asking his followers, "What do you think these are? Meteorites, satellites, or..." He even threw out the idea that they could be space guests, which only added more fuel to the already raging fire of speculation. Who are these mysterious visitors? Are they really from another world? Could they be monitoring us? Or perhaps just passing through our corner of the galaxy? What does it mean that these objects appear to be under some kind of control or purpose, moving in formation? But here's where it gets even crazier. If you look closely at the footage, you'll notice something strange. Just before the 5 objects show up, there's a faint white object that flies through space, moving from left to right. You have to really pay attention, but if you freeze the footage at the right moment, you can see it. It's subtle but undeniably there, darting across the cosmos. And what's more, once that faint object disappears, the 4 lights or whatever they are appear right after. It's almost like they're all connected in some way, like a sequence of events that's too perfect to be a coincidence. Could it be that the faint object was a signal or some sort of precursor to the arrival of the 5 objects? Or maybe it's a part of something even bigger that we just don't understand yet. It's like watching a scene unfold in slow motion, where every tiny detail might hold the key to solving a mystery that has been baffling humans for centuries. Now some people might dismiss this as just another optical illusion, or a trick of the light. After all, space is a vast, chaotic place, full of strange phenomena that can easily be misinterpreted by the human eye. But if an astronaut doesn't know what he's looking at, then what does that tell us about the state of our knowledge on UFOs? If someone in space, someone who's been trained to observe the cosmos and is accustomed to the complexities of space travel, can't identify these objects, then how are we, regular folks down here on Earth, supposed to make sense of it? The idea that even an expert in space exploration is left scratching his head adds a whole new layer of mystery to the situation. If an astronaut who has spent years studying space and its many wonders can't put a label on what he saw, then it begs the question, how much do we really know about the universe? How many things are out there, hidden from our view, just waiting to be discovered? But it doesn't end there. Oh no. This isn't the first time strange objects have been filmed in the sky. In fact, we've got even more footage that will make you question everything. We're talking about footage captured from commercial airplanes. These are some of my favorites because they give us a glimpse into something that's happening above us while we're all oblivious down on the ground. Imagine sitting in a plane, gazing out the window as you cruise through the clouds. You think it's just another ordinary flight, but then something extraordinary happens. That's exactly what happened in one of these cases. Take this clip, for example. It was recorded from a window seat on a commercial airliner. As the plane is cruising along at 30,000 feet, a disc-shaped object zooms past at incredible speed. The plane was likely flying at around 400 to 500 miles per hour, but this object just effortlessly blazes past, leaving us in the dust. The sheer speed at which it moved was beyond anything the human eye is accustomed to. Now, imagine seeing something like that from your own seat. Wouldn't you be freaking out? You'd probably pull out your phone, hoping to catch a glimpse of it on camera, but by the time you blink, it's already gone. The speed and agility of the object were so remarkable that it left people wondering, how could anything travel that fast? And what kind of technology would be needed to achieve such a feat? And then there's the footage sent in by a guy named Mr. Chang. He was flying over Texas when he spotted something really strange in the sky. At first, he didn't know what to make of it. It was just a glowing line, almost like fire, streaking through the sky. But when he filmed it, he saw something else entirely. A red, cigar-shaped object illuminated by lightning. Now, at first glance, this might sound like something straight out of a science fiction movie, but the footage is unsettlingly real. It's important to note that this wasn't a light on the plane itself, because the lightning revealed the sky between the object and the aircraft, indicating it was much further away. That's when it hit him. Whatever it was not a conventional aircraft. It wasn't a commercial jet or a military plane. The object seemed to defy all known laws of aerodynamics. It was just hanging there, seemingly unaffected by the weather conditions or the turbulent winds of the sky. What makes this even more fascinating is the fact that it was captured by a regular person on a commercial flight. It's not like some government agency or military personnel got their hands on the footage. No, this came from a civilian who just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And when you stop to think about it, that's what makes this whole UFO phenomenon so intriguing. It's not just astronauts or scientists who are witnessing strange things in the sky. Ordinary people like you and me, are capturing bizarre, unexplainable footage on their phones and cameras every day. And it's only a matter of time before we all start to realize that we're not the only ones here. So, what does this all mean? Are we really witnessing the beginning of an era where UFOs are no longer dismissed as mere fantasy or science fiction? Are we starting to unravel the truth that has been hidden from us for decades? It's hard to say, but one thing's for sure. The mystery is far from over. If anything, these recent events are only the beginning of a much bigger story. As more and more footage continues to emerge, as more and more people witness strange phenomena in the sky, it's becoming increasingly difficult to ignore the possibility that we are not alone. There's something out there, something we don't fully understand. But we're getting closer to uncovering the truth. The question is, are we ready to face it? But what does it all mean? Is this just a collection of bizarre coincidences, or are we witnessing the beginnings of something much bigger? Could these objects, the ones zooming past airplanes and filmed by astronauts, be connected to the massive UFO NASA discovered in 2013? And let's not forget the many reports of strange lights in the sky from all over the world. In some cases, people have captured footage of pulsating lights, glowing objects that seem to hover and move in ways that defy the laws of physics. We've seen lights over Peru, lights over Mexico, and even lights in the sky that appear to form straight lines and odd patterns. In one instance, a dog is seen noticing the lights and looking up, which only adds to the weirdness of it all. Are these objects some kind of communication from extraterrestrial beings, or are they something else entirely? One of the most compelling pieces of footage was sent in by a viewer who initially thought he was filming balloons. But as the video progressed, the objects began to form strange shapes, moving in ways that defied logic. They formed a straight line, and one object even seemed to hover above the others, controlling their movements. It was almost as if they were performing some kind of coordinated dance in the sky. So, what do you think? Are we just seeing things? Or is there something real going on here? Could all of these sightings be connected in some way? Maybe this isn't just some random collection of UFO clips, but rather a part of a much larger story. A story that we're just beginning to uncover. This discovery leaves us with more questions than answers. What if this is just the beginning of a much bigger mystery? We can only speculate and wait for the next clue to surface. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the unexplained.